This year's celebration is on the theme, Halt Soil Salinization, Enhance Soil Production. The Acting General of CSIR, Soil Research Institute, Dr. Edward Yabua, has joined us via Zoom to give us details of the day. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon to you and to your listeners.
Thanks for joining us. How significant is the day, Doctor? Good afternoon, Doctor. Can you hear me? Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thanks for connecting to.
How significant is the day?
Very good. Very good. Today is World Soils Day, so we are very happy.
So,
I've been marked in Ghana with talks on radio shows here and there, and on Tuesday we would organize a symposium to actually mark the World Soils Day in Ghana. But today it has been radio talk shows across the country.
So the theme for this year is Halt Soil Salinization. Can you exactly tell us what soil salinization is and how it affects food security?
Yes, the theme for today, this year's 2021 World Soils Day is on halt salinization and boost soil productivity. Now, salinization is actually the presence of salt in our soils, the presence of salt in our soils. And here we are referring to the chlorides, the carbonates, the sulfates in our soils. And it's a major problem for all across the world. So here along the coastal areas where we find a lot of seawater getting into the land, leaving a lot of the salt on the soil surfaces, it's affecting about 10% of our productivity. 10% of our crop productivity is affected by salt. So it's a major problem and we need to address it with all the needed support. Otherwise, our food security is a threat.
So, Doc, can you just tell us the measures we can, follow to stop soil salinization?
Yes. We normally have the salts in our soils mainly coming from the parent material of the rock. If through weathering, the salts in it are released onto the soil surfaces, and then crop can make use of it. The accumulation of salts actually is due to poor drainage. When there is a problem with the drainage in the soil are accumulated and it affects the uptake of nutrients by the crop. Again, accumulation of salt from the atmosphere also causes soil salinization, and drying up of water reservoirs also results in salinization eventually. Movement of soil by capillary action from underground water is also one of the main causes of salinization. And when we have the soil being saline, we always use what we call the electrical conductivity, which is always determined in the lab to determine whether the soil is saline or not. So if we test our irrigation water or if we test our soil, we will be able to determine whether the soil is saline or not. So regular testing of soil is very, very important to establish whether we have a saline soil or non-saline soil. Oftentimes, when we measure the electrical conductivity of the soil and it is less than 4 decimals per liter, we are happy with it.
On a yearly basis, farmers look at improving their yield. And how then can we look for ensure a healthy soil, which is also a factor to improving yields? Hello, Doc.
Yes.
I said on a yearly basis, farmers look at improving their yields. So healthy soil contributes to the improvement of yields. How then can we improve our soil? Ensure that we have a healthy soil.
All right. It is quite an important exercise that we all need to look at holistically. Farmers need to improve their yield. But before you can improve the yield, you should know what is in your soil, what nutrients are in your soil. So you definitely need to test your soil to know the content of the soil. And when you have determined the content of nutrients in your soil, you then need to apply the corrective nutrients to address it. So it's not always adding fertilizer to the soil that is important. Before you add the fertilizer to the soil, you still need to know the that is there in the soil. So that is how farmers can utilize the soil information to improve on their productivity generally. So soil testing is important. We need to improve our yield. We need to improve our yield, but we need to test our soil to determine whether we have salt in the soil or not. So that is the only way we can improve the yield.
Before you leave, what is the CSIR doing to educate people on the healthy soil? I think we lost a doctor there. That was Dr. Edward Yeboah, who is the acting director of research at the CSIR, Soil Research Institute. We now move over to Gambia, where we have my colleague Edward Nyaku, who is also a member of the ECOWAS Observer Mission in Gambia. Hello, good afternoon, Edward Nyaku. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon, Edward Nyaku.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Edward. How are you? Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Edward Nyaku, if you can hear me, have the results been announced yet?
Yes, it's still coming out of the technical results, not the total results. But as of 6 a.m. this morning, we've tallied about over 500,000 votes. And out of the 500,000 votes, the incumbent, President Adama Barrow, had garnered 338,610, as against his closest rival, Mr. Davu, who has garnered 137,379, which implies that the margin between the two leading contenders, that is between President Adama Barrow and that of Adabo, is 201,231, which means that President Adama Barrow, as of 6:53 a.m. this morning, when they've tallied over 30 constituencies, because we have 53 constituencies here, and as of 6:53, when they have done about 30 of them, he had widened the gap by 201,231, which clearly shows that he is in the lead. That is our provisional results that has been released by the EC. The election here is first post mark election, so you can even win even by two votes. So if you look at what is happening at the moment, minus or plus 2, it's likely that the incumbent is in a pole position, and might retain his seat, but we're still waiting for the independent electoral commissions to come out with the rest of the results. It's about 15 constituencies. So far, so good. The atmosphere is very peaceful and calm. Unlike Ghana, where elections are declared, we hear people coming out rejoicing, some having challenges. Here it's not like that. Even the counting process is very interesting in the sense that when they were doing the counting after the voting, it was just being done by the electoral officers and the party agents, the security officials, including the observers. So they come to vote and they go to their various houses, and then the announcement comes, and that's it. Unlike Ghana, where we all come out and then we witness the counting and the tabulation. Here it's not like that. So everything is peaceful here, very calm. People are going about their normal duties, though people are still in their homes because usually they will come out in their numbers to do their business, but they still come here. We never recorded any incident of violence throughout the area I went to. We drove almost 5 hours to a place called Jajaburi, and was very peaceful and calm. They go about their normal duties. And one crucial thing I would like to point out is that after the voting, the Gambians to eat from the same bowl. It was very interesting to see that even though the government in power party agents and the opposition, the electoral officers and the security agents, they sit together and they will have a meal from the same bowl, which to me is an indication that they are ready to bury their differences no matter what and to soldier on to their countries. And it's worth commending. And again, one thing about the Gambia election, instead of ballot papers, they use marbles. So you hardly witness anything called sports or rejected ballot, because each of the drums that they put out there represent one candidate with their colors. So you cannot put it into, if you put in the other one, you have lost it. But everyone knows where he or she is going to put his marble. So after even the elections today, when the observer commission, the various observer teams from Akromawov, AU, ECOWAS, they all commended Gambia for this kind of electoral process. They were even suggesting that, look, it is worth looking into it, therefore a study needs to be conducted into that system, and if it can be replicated elsewhere in Africa, because this is tailor-made to the people of the Gambia.
Thank you so much. Keep us updated when the results are announced. That was our correspondent, Edward Dinyaku, who also doubles as an observer with the ECOWAS Commission. Observer mission, I beg your pardon. Ghana and South Africa have jointly inaugurated a BiNational Commission chaired by President Akufo-Addo and Cyril Ramaphosa. It is to step up cooperation, trade, investment and partnership between Accra and Pretoria. 3 agreements have therefore been signed on agriculture, immigration, transportation and gender. The 2 leaders are upbeat that this would help maximize benefit from their respective natural resources and AFCTA.
Between the 2 countries date back to the apartheid era and post-independence. It started on the diplomacy level and has now developed into trade and investment over the years under the Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation. The BiNational Commission is a framework for bilateral relations to improve on cooperation in the various sectors of government and to coordinate initiatives. It is also to facilitate contact between the public and private sectors of the parties. Areas under consideration are railways, roads, agriculture, mining, energy, security, among others. The first part of the cooperation covers agriculture, immigration, transportation, and gender. The commission was inaugurated during BiNational talks at the Jubilee House. A memorandum of understanding was initialed by the respective sector ministers of Ghana and South Africa. President Cyril Ramaphosa was positive about the agenda, describing the BiNational Commission as a key platform.
We have discussed exploring possible new areas of economic, trade and investment cooperation, especially in Ghana's key sectors, such as roads, railway infrastructure, mining, energy, manufacturing, as well as agro-processing.
President Akufo-Addo said Ghana considers intra-African trade as key towards development.
So we are united in our determination to win the battle for rapid economic development by helping to intensify the value-adding industrial transformation of our economies, anchored on the things we make and grow. It is this transformation that will give us the best opportunity to derive maximum benefit from our abundant natural resources and from our participation in the AFCFTA and help bring progress and prosperity to our peoples.
President Akufo-Addo called for cooperation between ECOWAS and the SADC to tackle common challenges confronting the two regional blocs, such as insurgency, climate change, and piracy.
12 green businesses and entrepreneurs from the Ashanti, Western and Greater Accra regions have received grants to support their businesses under the 2021 Green Innovation Challenge in Accra. The Boosting Green Employment and Enterprise Opportunities in Ghana project Innovation is a 4-year project funded by the European Union. The project aims at creating sustainable jobs for the youth, women and returning migrants.
Challenge started in July 2021 by the SNV Ghana. It will be an annual competition aimed at scaling up innovative green ideas. The challenge forms part of the Green Project with an objective of supporting businesses and SMEs that have an outstanding and innovative green ideas to create employment opportunities. Through this innovation, young entrepreneurs will have their ideas transformed into viable green businesses that contribute to the local economy. At an awards ceremony, 12 entrepreneurs were selected out of the 25 applicants. The head of the European Union delegation to Ghana, Mr. Aichad Rosali, said managing climate change and issues on biodiversity is a shared responsibility. Out of the 12 businesses selected, 6 were from the Ashanti, 5 from the Western, and 1 from the Greater Accra regions. Grants received ranged between 55,000 and 175,000 cedis. Ms. Joanna Arthur, who makes paper from agro waste, plantain and banana stem, received 175,000 cedis.
What Ghana will import most of our papers to the country. So if we have the raw material to produce the papers, we are encouraging people to use paper, but we don't have to continue importing.
The areas of focus for the challenge include agriculture, renewable energy, water, sanitation, and hygiene.
A book that captures key moments during the 2020 election petition has been launched in Accra. Titled Judgment Day comes from the diary of a journalist of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Abdulhai Mumin. The book will serve as a source of lesson that future generation can tap in during political moments.
The book Judgment Day talks about Ghana's 2020 election petition, but the author arouses readers' interest in the first few pages, telling the story about the policies of other African countries, how power changed hands, and how old political faces were replaced by new entrants. Other chapters of the book also talked about other political events in 2004 and 2012. Speaking to GBC News, the author, Mr. Abdulhai Mumin, said apart from persons in academia who consistently conduct research and publish their findings, the next group of persons who should be writing and publishing regularly are journalists.
Journalists on a daily basis, whether they belong to print or broadcast or online, and these days even journalism is platform blind. When you are a journalist, you are reporting for all other platforms, whether it's online, it's TV or radio or print. It's journalism is journalism, but the first thing you do as a journalist is to write. Whether you write for broadcast or for print or for online, it's still writing. And once you write, it means that you are already in the process. The next step to take is to bound the writing together as one piece. And once we do that, we will be helping in, first of all, contributing to knowledge, but secondly, also contributing to the preservation of history. Whatever happened today, tomorrow will become history. But if there is no record about it, tomorrow, when the story about today is about to be told, it can even lead to conflicts, because everyone will tell the story in the future from their different points of view.
The Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, described the book as an excellent masterpiece.
The narratives that Abdulhai Momin has brought together is a fine reading of a history of an election petition. He doesn't just do it, he goes through giving a certain social background to certain events. And I think that we have to commend Abdulhai Momin for having the time to put together an excellent masterpiece.
Some participants at the ceremony shared views on the book.
For me, for a journalist to be able to put all the things that happened together and more like a library of how the whole process went, so that anybody at all at any particular point in time can fall on it and understand the history of this country and what really transpired within that period is something that is commendable.
Apart from the Judgment Day, Mr. Abdulhai Momin also has a book titled Thoughts of a Professional Gossip to his credit.
Congratulations to Mimin, we say. President Akufo-Addo is proposing a joint youth-oriented program between Ghana and South Africa. The idea is to harness the talent and economic potential of the youth for transformation and development. At a state dinner in honor of South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa, Nana Akufo-Addo said the youth population of both countries are the greatest resources and must feature in every initiative for economic transformation.
It's day 3 in Ghana for South African President Cyril Ramaphosa's 4-nation West African tour. Since his arrival, President Akufo-Addo and the South African leader have had several talks bordering on political, trade, investment, economic relations and security. The inauguration of the BiNational Commission between Accra and Pretoria, shared by the two leaders, is the highest point of the visit. The BiNational Commission is a framework where bilateral relations will take place. It seeks to enhance cooperation in the various sectors and to coordinate initiatives, as well as to facilitate contact between the public and private sectors of the parties. A state dinner has also taken place in honor of South Africa's first gentleman and his delegation. It was also to say thank you to the visiting team. Other issues relating to cooperation between Ghana and South Africa were on the table. President Akufo-Addo was emphatic on the need for Ghana and South Africa to focus on developing the youth.
For me, one of the essential pillars of our relations must be the mutual nurturing of our young people. They are the ones who inherit the legacy of our current cooperative endeavors, who should work towards preserving and further enriching it. My desire is that we pay closer attention to educational and cultural exchanges between Ghanaian and South African youth, to enable us deepen understanding between our two peoples, and make better use of the strong friendship we share. As I told you in our discussions, I want us to have formal relations and cooperation in sports and cultural exchanges. I'm sure there's much South Africa can learn from Ghana in soccer, where we are obviously your senior brothers. Just as Ghana can in rugby, where we are some way away from producing a Siya Kolisi, the great captain of South Africa's World Cup winning side.
President Ramaphosa expressed Ghana's commitment to work with Ghana at all levels for the good of its people.
South Africa views this state visit to Ghana as key to strengthening bilateral relations between the two countries and to deepen trade and investment between us. The business forum that is being held alongside this state visit will do much to broaden market access into our respective economies, which will contribute to overwhelming thrust and put us in a much better position to overcome inequality, poverty, and unemployment in our countries.
The two leaders are optimistic that a solid platform has been laid in the past 3 days, and this will usher in a new dawn of partnership between Ghana and South Africa in trade and investment.
A 9-year-old pupil of Heaven International Resource Center for Special Education who has mobility challenges has been presented with a wheelchair to aid his movement. It is a gift from Rotary Club of Accra Spintex branch. The club again presented wheelchairs to 4 health institutions living in the Sakumono enclave.
9-year-old Kelvin is unable to walk. To get around, he crawls on his knees. So the Rotary Club of Accra Spintex, upon a need assessment, came to his aid and presented him with a wheelchair to help move about easily. The administrator of Haven International Resource Center for Special Education, Madam Rosalind Emlizor, thanked the club for coming to Kelvin's aid. For now, Kelvin is independent and is happy with his new gadget. Some health institutions, including the Lekma Polyclinic, Sakumono Community Hospital, Trust Clinic Sakumono, and the Sakumono Health Center, were all presented with new wheelchairs to support their operations. The beneficiary institutions were grateful to the Rotary Club of Accra Spintex for the support. The club president for the Rotary Club of Accra Spintex is Rotarian Jonas Ayikwe Ayi. He said the club is one of the over 60 Rotary clubs undertaking the initiative. He also says the exercise is in line with Rotary's key areas of focus under the Maternal and Child Health Campaign. This is an initiative by Rotary International in partnership with Wheelchair Foundation in the United States, where over 200 wheelchairs are being distributed across Ghana.
The Keta Lagoon Development Association has donated relief items to victims of the tidal waves which occurred in Atanglo, Keta and Ketu South District in the Volta region. The items include an undisclosed amount of money, blankets, used clothes and tents. This is to alleviate the plight of the victims. The items were presented to 177 communities through the chief of Jitatogbi Hachu, the DCE and assembly member of Fuveme. The chairman of the association, Air Commodore Kujo Gamadeku, retired, said the donation was part of their contributions to support the victims. The former member of parliament for Anglo, Mr. Clement Kofi Humadu, called on government to allocate some funds in the budget for the sea defense project to help minimize the annual problem. The Keta Lagoon Development Association was formed by some indigenous sons and daughters of the affected areas. The association seeks to mobilize resources from individuals and corporate bodies to support people in that area. A fundraising ceremony for the completion of a home for the aged in the northern sector of the country has taken place at Kumasi in the Ashanti region. The 5 billion cedi 18-bedroom one-story project is being financed by the St. Theresa's of the Child Jesus Society under the St. Peter's Cathedral Basilica. The society has already invested over 2 billion cedis in the project for the ground floor, which constitutes the first phase. The home will be made up of bedrooms, a worship center, dining, and a clinic. At the fundraising harvest, the chaplain and the spiritual director at the St. Teresa Archdiocese in Kumasi, Reverend Father Henry Mensah, stressed the need for voluntary contributions to help complete the project on schedule.
When people grow old, sometimes you need special skill to take care of them. This is what this home seeks to do. It has a lot of rooms. We intend bringing doctors and nurses who will be taking care of our old parents who may be lacking such care in the home, so that at any point in time when we realize that the person is old and we don't have people who will be there ready to be assisting, the person can be brought here.
The president of the St. Teresa of the Child Jesus Society, Opening Elizabeth Mensah, praised the Vicar General, Reverend Father Douglas Peters, for donating the land free of charge for the project. She said the home, when completed, will provide solace for the aged.
Ghana hayemrewano semom yina ani nkokora nyina ne omo aya ahomtia mai enti epese ebo omo no na omo ba wiase na omo niji ansa na omako.
If you missed some of the past week's major stories, here is an opportunity to catch up in pictures. Let's go for a commercial break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching NewsHa. We're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and now on the international front. Hundreds of women have marched in Abidjan to protest violence against women and to demand punishment.